Hello everyone, and welcome to Fleet Plays Rule the Waves 3 into the final decade. The year as it stands is February 1959. We are about to enter the final decade that the game runs into, the 1970s. Our navy is the most powerful it has ever been. The economy is the strongest it's ever been. And we're so far ahead of some of the other powers in terms of missile integration into our fleet that we could probably take on a few of the actual major powers. Not combined, but we could probably take on the Germans and the French, especially with our carrier fleet now being one of the most modern in the world. I'd like to thank everyone. I'd like to really thank everyone who submitted a suggestion for what should replace Star Wars Empire at War. They've done it if you've seen the community post on the channel, but if you haven't, unfortunately, the save games have corrupted or failed or whatever. Something has happened to them and I can't access them anymore, sadly. So, yeah. Yeah, but that's the way it is. And let's get back into it. So, here we are. The Van Gents have been in the fleet for 3 years. They are the newest capital ships in the Dutch Navy, and by some metrics, it was its most powerful unit. Designed very specifically for the new era of warfare we now find ourselves in, they're armoured to resist the guns of cruisers, but their primary armament is their 8 heavy anti-ship-to-ship missiles. They're basically follow-ons from the Tromp class battle cruisers, which were designed with a similar premise in mind. Well, they weren't designed that way, but they were built that way. Of course, the real actual capital units of the fleet and the things and ships that, despite displacing less than half of the tonnage of the Van Gents, cost more than them, are the Atje class missile cruisers. These ships are, by some metric, one of the most powerful fleet units we have, with a triple auto-loading gun 8-inch turret forwards, 8 heavy anti-ship missiles, and both heavy and light SAMs, as well as 2 dual-purpose 5-inch fully automatic guns. These vessels are perfect escorts for our carrier group, and our carrier force has continued to get more and more modern. We have 4 modern fleet carriers. The Nagas, which can only operate light jets and turboprop and piston-engined aircraft, and the Hydras, which are our fully jet-capable carriers, capable of carrying our jet strike and heavy jet fighters. We've got a bunch of modern destroyers in the fleet, in the form of the Scylla class, and we're building their successors, the Machjan class, which are even more heavily armed. There's also the Rotterdam class light missile cruisers coming into the fleet as well. Very much designed for the air defense role. So overall, everything's going fairly well. We're still at peace, although tensions are rising with a lot of the major powers. Not the ones I wanted them to rise with, sadly. Yeah, I'll take the prestige hit. Oh, nice! That makes our... There we go. Excellent. Yep, the Chinese are catching up. They're using the Great Reset exactly the same way I did. Quadruple trainable launchers for anti-shipping missiles. Okay. Yeah, so the Russians and the Japanese are knocking 7 bells out of each other, but that's not very surprising. I have to then consider what comes next. So, part of me wants to build more carriers. So the attacker class is still useful with the number of aircraft it carries. So is the Cote Barreau, well, especially in second line roles. Seydlitz as well is a valuable asset. None of our carriers are not useful. The Hydras and Nagas especially are only 5 and a year old respectively. So I have to think, are the Van Gents going to be the last capital ships we build? Or am I going to design something extremely radical? I think I probably could, to be fair. Okay. It's a fairly interesting design. And I get where you're coming from there, but I think I can do better than that. Two medium SAMs, that's fair enough. But I think the forward superimposed turret can go. And instead of having those heavy ship-to-ship missiles in those positions, I can instead go for a heavy ship-to-ship launcher in a superimposed mount, which is now a trainable mount, meaning that that weapon can be fired. So I'm going to drop those down, and we're going to add another battery aft, firing over the aft turret. Now, with these ships being what they are, so we don't need that many guns. What we really need is about 6 5-inch guns in single mounts, which are auto-loading. And then we've got radar directed at AA to help with the rest of the problems. And we also got medium SAMs as well, which will help. These ships will not carry... yeah, let's get rid of the centerline swivel catapult and replace that with a helipad. There we go. So we're going to drop the number of guns in those turrets down, and we're going to push the size way up. And you might say, Fleet, why are you going for such big guns? Well, it's simple. Range. That is the reason. Those 20-inch guns give us the ability to reach out and touch things an incredible distance away. And are a useful successor to the anti-ship missiles. Especially with the directors that we have nowadays. These guns give us an ability to, well, incredibly heavily hit things. Conning towers are basically not useful in this day and age. So we can get rid of that and put that extra tonnage into a bit more built extended armor. Maybe increase the vertical... Yeah, let's increase the roof on the turrets to probably 6.5 inches of armor on the turret roofs. Do we have angled decks yet? Knight, as I've told you countless times before, you've doubted me countless times before, and countless times my navy has proven itself more than capable of rising to the challenge. Kind of Montana, but she's basically a reflection of the era. The guns aren't her primary armament. The battery of 8 heavy ship-to-ship missiles and rotatable mounts she carries are. The guns are secondaries, and her 5-inch guns are tertiary battery. The guns are basically there for making anything that wants to try and close have a very, very, very bad day. Okay, you should have normal construction. Oh, what can we halt? Let's halt one of the Rotterdam-class cruisers for now, just to keep our budget in the green. Which is a good idea. Yes, actually, I will, because I think they seem to have some things that we don't have. Oh, excellent. Okay, so again, the French and the Russians are knocking 7 bells out of each other. The Japanese and the Russians are knocking 7 bells out of each other. But what else is new? Well, there we go. Okay. Wow, the Russians actually... could we get an agreement with Great Britain? That would be good if we could. Oh, that's a shame. But it will have at least reduced tensions with the British, I hope. No, not quite. Oh, you've got to be... No, thank you. I don't need 2-inch guns. Ooh, double SAM launchers. That's very good. Oh, we can't build her because we don't have the dockyard space anymore, because literally the dockyard workers got laid off because there wasn't enough work for them. Oh, really? That was one of our modern cruisers. Now she only does 34 knots. I mean, admittedly, it's much faster than any of our contemporaries. But still... Those cruisers cost a lot of money. And I would really rather you didn't break them, please. Ooh, hello. That is actually not as good as my current helicopter, so no thank you, Fokker, but I will come back to you at a later date if you come up with something better. What do our new battle cruisers cost? They're not as expensive as I thought they would be. To tell you the truth, they're not as expensive. We need to keep our yards going. So what I'm going to do is I am going to, since we need to keep our yards going, I don't have any slots open for capital ships right now. Given how useful they'll likely be in a future war, I'm going to lay down a bunch of new submarines, including our first guided missile submarines. Just to really shake things up. Oh, Commandant Gleo, way ahead of you, Chief. The Netherlands is way ahead of the rest of the world in terms of missile-armed ships in our fleet. We are just absolutely running away with the race. Gotta keep the yards busy as best we can. We don't want to lose any more capacity than we have. So with those new destroyers in the fleet, I can't help but what will a modern corvette be? Oh my sweet! Oh my goodness! You're bigger than I was expecting. You are much bigger than I was expecting. Whoa. Okay. Yeah. So let's bring those tubes down a bit. So through 3-inch guns, center helicopter, depth charge increase, depth charge stowage. This is fine. No diesel engines, please. Yeah. Give us a gas turbine, because that means this ship can be smaller. No more than about 1,500 tons. Actually, a bit more. Actually, can I get away with that? Because that can be a actually decent replacement for our... Because they're only supposed to be anti-submarine corvettes. 23 knots should be fine. Probably only having a single anti-ship missile is probably all you really need. Probably going to drop the guns down to a single 4-inch instead. It's all you really need. Especially given what these ships are designed to do. They're designed to basically go up to submarines and poke them in the face and maybe fight. Okay, okay, now, okay, would you stop holding a belligerent speech, sir? The Navy's not ready. Stop holding belligerent speeches, I swear to God. See, this is why I oppose the coup. I mean, to be fair, the fascist government has done wonders for the funding for the Navy. So, there is that. But, yeah, he does keep raising tension. Oh, he's raised tensions with China. Oh, they will they? Okay, then. Missile. Oh, that's gonna... I have just turned the Netherlands into an untouchable fortress. Okay, Rotterdam. Very good, very good. Missile control system. Yes, this is all very nice. Now that we've got some funding spare, let me just... Netherlands. Build fortifications. MTB squadron. Monthly build cost. I am going to build 10 MTB squadrons in the... but we'll build... Yeah, okay, we'll build 2. Are we building them? Yes, we are. Good, okay. And we will build 2 in Formosa, because, to be blunt, these MTB squadrons basically act as a tripwire, because, well, they're now missile boats. So this basically means that each of my outposts that I have maintained, and because we're a fascist nation we won't decolonize, is now maintained by MTBs as well. There we go. 2 MTBs for you, and 2 MTBs for you. Oh, mustn't forget about one of our most prized possessions. Mustn't forget about Dutch Iraq. Extremely prized possession. Mustn't forget that. What would a modern frigate look like? AI answered with a Krivak 1. Yeah, probably. It wasn't quite what I wanted. Like, it did give me some of the... no, thank you. That's not enough carrier for my needs. Anti-ship missiles can attack targets not spotted by the firing ship. Okie dokie then. Oh, good lord. The Russians and Americans are angry. New dots completed. Fleet train. Yes, I'm sure they are. Right, okay then. So, while we're doing that, let me just very quickly lay down the first of our Piet Hen class battle cruisers. Which we may need, given that of all the nations I didn't want to fight, the US is now fighting us. Although they are down to the last ship in their fleet being the Florida. They do have a lot of their battle cruisers left, however. Although, again, they, like us, have gone to smaller gun-armed ships that focus more on missiles. Their cruiser fleet hasn't quite caught up, though, to ours. They haven't quite got... well, they have got some, but it's not the same. They're getting towards large supercarriers, but again, they're still not quite there yet. Okay, Spain managed to commission a pair of decently sized battle cruisers, but it's been a while since they've injected their fleet with new large firepower. The most modern heavy cruiser they have are the Suencias, which are full-on missile cruisers, which is nice of them. But their heavy light cruisers are a little bit older. They have a pair of full-size carriers, though, which means they can play on the world stage. China, again. China has built up a force of gun cruisers, and they've only recently constructed a pair of missile cruisers, but they're not full missile cruisers. What China has done is start to enter the carrier game, but it's not... their carriers are like 2 to 3 generations behind everyone else's. But like everyone else, their destroyers have gone completely over to the missile, so... the next war is going to be a heck of a nonsense to deal with. which is going to be fun. No thank you, Japan. I can't afford that. I'm building things. Excellent. There's our air base in Iraq. Yes, please. Okay, war warning with the US is holding steady. We're not going to war. Now, for the love of God, please, 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 do not, Mr. Fascist Dictator of the Netherlands, do anything so monumentally stupid as to make a speech criticizing the United States. Because I swear to God, alliance with Germany, I mean, that would probably tip us over into war. Nope. Sorry, Germany. Don't want to deal with that. Well, okay, that's 8 submarines built. That buys us a bit more budget. Well, we have our new cruiser. And that must mean that a lot of the budget is still being eaten up by our, yes, the missile subs. Though they'll enter the fleet before too long. 12 submarines, very nice. Well, that tears that. Okay, bring the old destroyers back into active service. For trade protection, along with some of the older destroyers that we have. And the pair of the older... and 3 of the oldest cruisers that we possess that don't have missiles. That are in the reserves. We have our modern missile cruisers, we have our carriers, we have our modern destroyers, and we've just commissioned all of our modern submarines. Our new missile boats, and our new fleet subs. So, and we're about to get the first of our new corvettes, which I'll still be building more of as the war goes on. I'm... War with the US. You see, Mr. Dictator, fuck your regime, you fucked us over as well as your navy because you wanted us to fight the whole world. Okay, so let's have a look at how the balance of forces lays out. Funnily enough... No, we're not even... I was going to say we're not in shouting distance at all, we're just not. The only thing we have is that we have 90 submarines, the US has 7. So, I'm 99.99% sure that we're going to be able to do some funky business to the US. Of course, the US has forces in the Far East. And I can't afford to not have forces in the Far East. Okay, one of our submarines torpedoed and damaged the US CVL. Okay. Oh, that's right, the US is fighting Japan at the same time. Oh, there may be an opportunity here. The US is fighting Japan, aren't they? The majority of the US fleet is stationed in the Pacific. There are still sizable assets in the Atlantic. But it actually brings our Atlantic fleet into shouting distance of the current US Atlantic fleet. It's not as close as I would like, but it's close enough that I may actually be able to win this war. Especially if the Japanese fight with us as they currently are. And keep the majority of the US carrier fleet tied up in the Pacific. Doesn't surprise me. Okay. Yes, I will actually sign an alliance with Japan just for this particular conflict. Because that protects my Far Eastern possessions from being invaded. Without me having to send a fleet out there. Okay, so the US has moved its forces. So, okay, so there is a sizable US fleet coming east now. Which is fair. First of our corvettes has entered the fleet. The second one's about to enter the fleet. And of course, once those corvettes have worked up, they're going to be the most capable anti-submarine ships we have in the fleet. Which is what we want. Communication satellites! Dutch cannon to space! Well, yeah, let me think. I'm going to assume that it's sinking a lot of our... I'm going to assume that that was a lot of our older subs that died. Yeah, so these were a lot of our older boats that died. Although one of our modern subs also died. But mostly it's our older boats that died. But again, as per usual, we will start building one coastal submarine a month while we're at war. As you know, it's the usual drill here. Because coastal boats keep us safe. Oh, we can improve jet attack aircraft while we're at war, you legends! Wait, what? I've unleashed the Dutch submarine force and the US is already going, ah, fudge. No international trade. My cruise missile submarines are probably just prowling the Atlantic, sinking any US merchant ship they like and then laughing hysterically as the American corvettes can't do anything to them. Oh, excellent. Oh my goodness, we are sinking 12 merchants every month. And that's 1960s merchants. That's a lot of tonnage. That's a lot of tonnage. The subsurface speaks Dutch as Dutch missiles own the skies. Is my surface fleet never going to get to engage and my submarines just going to bring the US to the table? And we're going to gain back everything we lost from the US in the early wars of this campaign? Oh, never mind, enemy submarines are doing something, and we did lose 4 subs that month. Which is a bit of a problem. Although our missile boats have not been sunk. Which is fairly useful. I'm half tempted. I am half tempted. Because the entire US fleet is actually facing the Japanese. I'm half tempted. Do we have any assets in the region? Because I could commit to Northeast Asia, but that would probably be risky, and our submarines are doing fairly well as it is. The US has no assets in the Indian Ocean. We have no way to project into the Caribbean, because we don't have any naval bases there. The US has nothing in the South Pacific, and we can't project into the Central Pacific. So... as long as the US doesn't project power into Southeast Asia, I'm content to let them and the Japanese just absolutely slug it out. If they want to come to Europe, let them come to Europe. But if they're content to not do that, then I'm content to sit here. Honestly, yeah, I'm going to do that. Yeah, pass social reforms, bring the unrest down. If you can keep the population... Oh my goodness! Okay, my merchant sub said challenge accepted, and oh my goodness. 32 enemy merchant ships sunk by Dutch submarines. Oh my god. The Japanese just sat there going, if we just hold out and keep the US Navy tied down, the Dutch will cripple the US economy. I'm like, yes, we will. We will absolutely do that. Oh, that'll be one of our trade protection ships that's gone out. Nope. Yes, new jet fighter. Maneuverability and speed. Oh, yeah, we're just Yep, we are just absolutely... Let's put our new corvettes on trade protection. I wonder, can we actually build a new class of small destroyer? I wonder. I bet you we probably can. Gas turbine driven. 30 knots is about alright for a modern destroyer. You can carry torpedoes. No depth charge throwers. Doesn't need increased depth charge stowage. Enhanced sonar and towed sonar array. Drop the tube down to a single, which will actually help massively. The only thing I want is a single aft centerline heavy ship-to-ship missile. And these ships will be the new small 800-ton destroyers. That will do. Radar-directed guns and a single AA director. And let me just upgrade the amount of radar they can carry. You know what, I can probably accept a little bit of an increase in weight. Not too much, but enough to at least get this design through the door. They don't need the most advanced director, but it'll do. Okay, ooh. Macam's, I mean, they are... Patrolling ship Macam. Which one is she? Oh, good lord, she is a very old cruiser. She's not had a rebuild since she was built. She can still do 29 knots, and she may need all 29 of those knots, depending on what she runs into. These cruisers are the foreign station flagships of the Dutch Navy. They were going to be replaced by large corvettes, but I haven't got round to it yet. Nope, we're not even going to try and fight whatever this is. Nope, because we have no radar, we have no way of seeing. Crank those old turbines up to full speed. We're go. Oh no, we do have improved search. Nope. Yeah, that was a light cruiser, and I actually want to see what the US actually had, because even if it's one of their older light cruisers, it still would have been aggressively too much for us to deal with. It's Amsterdam, but yeah, she would have absolutely cleaned our chronometers, so it was better to preserve the ship and not engage. New Russian medium bomber. Ah! Medium air-to-air missile. Okay, yep, sinking some of our subs. Oh, yeah, so not surprising. Oh, okay, they really are stepping up the sinkings of our subs. We lost 7, but we are still sinking about more than 20 merchants a month, which is very, very good. There we go. Yep, we are sinking that. Very nice. They'll take 13 months to build. How many did they say I needed? Oh, good lord, that costs 4,000 to build. Good. Those little 800-ton destroyers will cost more to build than this. That cannot be right. Oh, for a second there, I was... How many can I get? I can get the required 13 in the budget that the battlecruiser's using, and I think we'll stop building the battlecruiser for now, and we'll get the required number of destroyers that we need to actually get us through the war. Oh! The Navy can fight on if needed. That's what I always say. Oh! I didn't expect the leader to actually accept a compromise peace. Well... That was a short, sharp conflict, wasn't it? Oh, we didn't lose anything, so... I assumed that I accepted that because I assumed the leader would fight on. But apparently he will not. Oh, wait, what? Don't tell me. Wait, since when did my fleet actually become almost superior to the French one? What? What? Okay, yeah, we now have to start mothballing ships, so... yeah, mothball the 2 older cruisers. The Atgis can stay in service. All of the cruisers that aren't the... Amersfoots go into mothball. The Amersfoots go into reserve. Only the Rotterdams are retained in the active fleet. Any carrier that isn't a Naga or a Hydra goes into the... Sorry. Attacker and Kotobaro go into mothballs. Seydlitz goes into reserve. Into mothballs as well. The Nagas go into the reserve fleet. The Hydras stay as the active super carriers. Africa is already in mothballs. She was never even on mothball for the previous war. The Krakatoa class can actually stay as they are for now. The ones at home are to be scrapped. And then the other ones will be... Actually, you may as well scrap them now. Saving on budget. The D-33 and 35 classes are going into mothball. The Scylla class going into the reserves. And the Macjin class staying as active. What I'm going to do is... Actually, how much do you cost to retain active? The Masaeus, the old warhorse, is going for scrap. And one of the Schwagans will go to Foreign Station to replace her. As she's cheaper to run than the other cruiser was. Even then, I don't like having capital ships in reserve. It's not something I like doing. Even then, we still need to find savings somewhere. Probably scrap the old... will it let me scrap them? It will not let me scrap those submarines. Okay. Oh, that's not... That ship's not to scrap, no wonder. So all the coastal boats built before 1937 will be scrapped. The long-range submarines can stay. The coastal boats from 46 and 47 will be scrapped as well. I still need to find some savings somewhere. I reckon if I mothball one of the... If I put both Van Gents into reserve, they should maintain most of their activity rate. And I can just about see the Dutch Navy into the new year. But I'm sure I'll find the funds to reactivate all the ships I didn't want to get off mothballs too heavily. The Dutch kicked the Americans' ass so hard, the Americans just gave up. Well, no, it was a compromise peace, but we basically forced the Americans to stop fighting their victorious war against Japan because the Atlantic just turned into a Dutch lake. Oh my god! That modern submarine fleet just International force. Yes, that's what I thought, Germany. Don't do silly things, Germany. Don't play silly fuck games. And also raise tension, because I need tension to be raised so I can keep building ships. Please. Like, why can't I go and fight the Chinese? They're communist. Let's go and fight the communists. Okay, I can actually reactivate one of the Van Gents. No, thank you. I can't afford to actually do that. I need another bit of money to reactivate the other Van Gent and have my capital ship fleet where I want it to be. There we go. Now we can reactivate the second Van Gent. And now both of those ships are back in the active fleet. Now we're getting more. No thank you, Britain. As nice as that would be. Don't really have the time for that right now. Oh, the Chinese are building their own aircraft now. Ooh, rod fragmentation warheads, very nice. Oh, new gen attack. I don't know what makes it better, but it's slightly tougher. Let me have a look. What coastal fortifications? Honestly, I think we can scrap the old coastal batteries. I think who needs coastal batteries when have MTB squadrons with missile boats? What I can start doing is gradually resuming construction of the destroyers we've been building. What's the point? What is the point of having a fascist dictator if he can't even keep the government off my back? What is the point of you, man? What is the point in having you? Oh, for God's sake. Oh, would you please stop? A bunch of these cruisers in reserve, and I'm really... And again, these, I really don't want the Hydras to go into reserve. They're... Oh well, I suppose we can reserve the Van Gents again. I need someone to do something stupid to raise tension. Yes! Yes, I'm having that. I'm having that. Yes. Haha, we're back! We're back in the Caribbean. Excellent. I also nicked off with one of the US's most powerful battle cruisers, the Montana. Ha 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 ha! Yes, we're back. And she'll form a half-sister to Pete Hayne, given that... Okay, so Montana needs to go into deep mothballs for now. Actually, I can probably... Let me just slash the research budget, just to get us out of debt. There we go. Nope, we are not being limited by our national security. Sod that noise for a month of Sunday. Right, now bring the research back. So we don't need any bigger guns. We need that. We need that. We don't need that. We don't need that. That is fine, that is fine. You're fine. Good, good, good. Okay. With the Montana arriving into the fleet, I can actually decommission the least successful of the rebuilds, Tromp. She can go to the breakers. And Atja can go into reserves. Reserve, because she's the one that had her engines overrun by her captain. So... build a highway system. For goodness sakes, build a highway system. Increase our economy. For God's sake. Yes, please. Also, I love the fact that we're back in the Caribbean. In Haiti. Just, we're back. We haven't had a Caribbean possession for ages, but we're back! Scapegoat for when things go south? Yep, the leader is the scapegoat, and I will basically be cooing him if I get the option. We need 17 more destroyers. Are you absolutely off your nut, Sunshine? Do the corvettes we have not count? Apparently not. Alright. No thank you, Spain. Yeah, I know! Look, I can't build you more destroyers if you don't give me the money to build more destroyers. I will keep the Tilburgs, but the rest of the old cruisers can go. Resume construction on the destroyer program. Yeah, I'll extend the security arrangement with Japan. And resume building destroyers. Because I need the new destroyers. What in the name of... What am I looking at? That's not a missile cruiser, US. That's I don't know what that is. Ah, new helicopter prototypes. Ooh. You, sir, are a massive improvement over our current helo. So, yes, you are being acquired for the Navy. I know you'll have to close down. But... Oh my god, Light Sams, that's... Okay, that is very useful. That is exceptionally... Because Light Sams can go on anything. Yep. And here is where armor basically starts to run out of effectiveness. No thanks. Let me just check something real quick. Montana. You carry 17-inch guns. What can your turrets be rebuilt into? Oh, really? You can only carry 17-inch guns? It's not perfect, but it's not the worst thing. I need to massively condense her turrets and fit her with light AA missiles out the wazoo, but that can be done later. For now, we need to keep constructing our new destroyers, because the Navy says we don't have enough. A battleship. Send a battleship, for God's sake. Give us budget that's not rubbish. Oh my god, the budget is back. The budget is actually back. We are so back. The budget is actually back. Yes, the leader allocates more funding. Strong arms industry. Sell to everybody. Yes. We're back. We're so back. An American Richelieu with 17-inch guns, but yes. Honestly, I would not mind having a crack at the Russians. Genuinely would not. What could... So, let's see, what would the Hydras get as a rebuild? Oh! I can angle flight deck them. Oh, that's sexy as heck. That is sexy as heck. Look at that. Look at that. That's beautiful. What about Seydlitz? What would she have? Oh, hang on. Yoink. Ooh, she could actually have a decent flight deck done to her. The Nagas? What could they get with an angled flight deck? Ooh, I like how that looks. Attacker. Ooh. And the oldest of our well, the attacker's actually the oldest, but... Okay, yep, rebellions in Borneo. Send, let me see, where's the... where is Borneo? That's Southeast Asia, isn't it? Yes, so let me just, so what's active here? So send the 2 missile cruisers. So the 2 Rotterdams, so send all 4 of our active missile cruisers, along with the most modern of our destroyers, to Southeast Asia. Suppress that rebellion. The East Indies are going to be Dutch whether they like it or not. How dare you do one of my ships? I'm going to send a song squadron to underline a point. I'll make it very pointy, so you can't miss it. I blame China. Everything is China's fault. We know this. I keep having to tell you people that everything is China's fault, and you keep forgetting! Really? Okay, so I have to halt construction of 6 of my destroyers to build 6 coastal submarines. I can at least resume 1 of them, thank goodness. Still, let's put a crimp into my plans. Handle it discreetly and quietly for the French. There we go. Thank you, Hawk Party. Very, very good. Oh, that is very nice. Thank you. Those new highway programs really paying off. Pro-Chinese rebellion has broken out in Shanghai. Ooh. Oh, Russia, do you really want to go this path? Do you really want to do this? Again, blame Russia. It's the only real option we've got. And resume construction on the Piet Hein after a long pause. Russia, I have more carriers than you. You might have bigger carriers, including actual angled deck super carriers. Oh, that's a monster. But I have more flight decks than you do. And your carriers don't carry significantly more aircraft than mine. Plus, your battle cruisers, to be polite, you're still stuck in the pre-missile era. And you do not have the cruiser strength to protect your assets. Fleet, you could be accused with xenophobia for saying blame China for everything. I would discontinue saying that. Knight, that would require it to be taken out of context. And if you're watching this series, you have the context. So I am going to continue saying it because it's in context. And it's very specifically related to this campaign. So I will continue saying it. Well, that's good. I got praise for building the submarines, which is something. Okay, we crushed the rebels in Borneo. That's good. We're going to be able to continue constructing the new ships we want. 2 new destroyers commissioned into the fleet. This is good. Van Gents are back in the active fleet, which is very nice. The Atja class is out in Borneo. Did we crush the rebellion? Yes, we did. I knew sending all those modern missile ships out there to shoot missiles at rebels was a very, very good idea. But now that we've crushed that, let's return the fleet back to Europe. So what? What else did I want to do? There was something I wanted to do. Ah, yes, Montana. So I want to replace her machinery. Actually, if just a simple straight refit, just to. Oh, good lord, that would cost an arm and a leg. We're supposed to have a choice. Electro-optical director for her main guns. Radar direction for her light AA. Up her to carry our current radar fit. Drop the secondary gun protection down to 2 inches. Single guns. We only need about 8. 5-inch. 4 per side. That is fine. Again, rework the turrets. That's also fine. Actually, yeah, it's fine. We actually have quality 2 5-inch guns, which is even better. Dual purpose, and they will be auto loaders. She'll have a helipad aft for carrying her 2 helicopters. And she will lose her 3-inch tertiary battery. In exchange, she'll gain 2 point defense SAM turrets aft. And reliable engines to keep her engines functioning for longer. And we may as well add a pair of... We may as well add 2 wing medium ship-to-ship turrets. Yeah, go on. Why not? Another pair of missiles. Why not? Why not? They're not heavy ship-to-ship missiles, but they are at least capable. And they do at least use up the displacement we have available. You know, we may as well have a bunch of single 3-inch guns scattered all over the place. There we go. Must free up X or Y position to use a helipad. Oh, hang on. That's why. So we won't have them there then. We will have U2. There we go. There we go. Now they can fire from there. Excellent. Oh, that's where the spare space goes. I'm aware it's somewhat excessive. But yes, we will go to the rebuild dialogue, but we won't build her yet. We're waiting until Pete Hain clears the slips, and then she'll get rebuilt. Give me a second, gentlemen. I'll be right back. Also, while we are going, why don't you all debate a name for Montana once she's rebuilt? A proper Dutch name. So, let's see, what did the chat come up with? I do, but others would happily do that in a heartbeat, take it out of context. Maybe, but the chances are infinitesimally slim. Knight, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. People are suggesting names. This is all very good. No, thank you, France. So we've got some budget left, which is good, which means I can actually reactivate some of the ships I put in reserve that I didn't want to. So the two Nagas can come back into the active fleet to bolster the Hydras. And the majority of the Scylla class that went into the reserves can also come back into the active fleet. Just to make sure we've got enough destroyers to keep everything rolling along quite nicely. Oh no. Improved launcher technology. Ooh, quadruple launchers for Light Sam. Ooh. That is interesting. Let me just get the... Should be the Montana rebuild design I can let my hands on. We don't have a Descend Provincian in our fleet, do we? We do not, actually. Wow, it's strange. We do not have a Descend Provincian in our fleet. That is bizarre. Piet Hein is steadily approaching her completion. The largest Dutch capital ship basically ever built. We've not operated a ship above 30,000 tons before, apart from the Sukuba that we bought, and we've certainly never built a capital ship that wasn't a carrier over 30,000 tons before. So she'll be a first in both aspects. I know. Yep, send a battleship. I'm sorry, I don't care if it... Yep, I knew that was going to happen, but, well, I didn't really much care. Right, everybody back into the active fleet. Apart from Montana, she can go into the, So you do want trade protection. All the Amersfoorts back in the active fleet. Some of the destroyers we have on trade protection. Africa and Cote Barreau, the slowest of our carriers. So these carriers that can't do 28 knots on trade protection. Seydlitz back into the active fleet. And our two corvettes on trade protection. There we go. Montana will remain in mothballs until Piet Hein enters the fleet. Would you please give us a war loan? Because I swear to God, if you're telling me I can't fight this war because you won't let me reactivate most of my fleet, I'm going to kill you. I can't reactivate most of my fleet. It will not let me reactivate most of my fleet because for some reason the budget has apparently evaporated. There. Oh, that should buy me enough time to get the additional war loans I need to get the fleet back into active service. Okay. Alright. That's our two completely modern Rotterdam-class cruisers and 4 of our modern destroyers. Attack enemy ships near the objective, please. Oh my god, we're actually within, we are very much within, yeah, we... no, do not fire at will. Okay, unknown radar contact, manual fire, target CA, DD-77, fire half. Thank you. Okay, manual fire. DD-76, fire half, please. DD-60, fire all. Well, that certainly did something. For God's sake, one of the things with the Utrex is that they have these SAMs. Can our SAMs please actually engage those targets? Oh, nice! What shut down was that? Yeah, oh hey! All those radar guarded medium AA guns are proving quite handy. Okay, so we still have, so 76, at Destroyer, fire all remaining missiles. Oh, 60, how you doing? Oh, she's not in a good way. DD-60 is not having a good time. Oh. Utrex missiles did not manage to stop the incoming. It's not surprising given the amount of hits she took. Although we did manage to inflict a great deal of hits on them, they have more than we do. Utrex just took a massive hit. Although, that being said, we can probably keep her safe. Whoa! Yep, that was not surprising. Because the thing is, I don't know what effect my missiles had on them. I know we scored a heck of a lot of hits on something. But what it was, I've no idea. Whoa! Oh, Rotterdam! I know we hit something, but I don't know what it was. I know that that supposed CA, we absolutely flattened whatever that was with, I think, 3 missile hits. So hopefully, oh, there goes Rotterdam. Well, there go both of our modern AAA cruisers. That's yeah, that's not ideal. That's not ideal at all. They were supposed to be part of the linchpin for a carrier task group's air defense. Unfortunately, they were operating alone. Oh! Okay. Hey! Stories emerge of Rotterdam going down with the ship's band proudly playing the national anthem. Your prestige increases and fleet morale gets a boost. Okay, we did manage to sink an enemy destroyer. So, that's something. Battle of Alson, that's not ideal, is it? Yes, especially with the war ongoing. Maneuverability and speed and bomb load are what I want, please. Okay, we sank 5 enemy merchants, but let's go unrestricted. We have our subs, let's use them. I am going to bring back into commission the Amersfoort class, because now they have to be brought back into commission. They're our most modern cruisers. We basically have no choice. What's next? Cruiser action. Okay. Two battle cruisers. 3 armored cruisers. Okay, alright. Generate the battle then. Okay, so it is 2 of our modern missile cruisers with 2 of our older missile cruisers and most of our modern destroyers. Oh, no, it's all of us. It is all of our... Actually, yeah. Yeah, I want you in Cruiser Division 4. I want all 3 of my cruisers in 1 division. That basically means we have all of our modern missile cruisers. This is a chance to actually deliver... What do you mean, low missile stocks? This is a chance to deliver a knockout blow, especially if we manage to actually make use of our ship's heavy missile loadout. We can but hope. How long have we been going for? Oh, nearly an hour. It's fairly good. Oh, good lord. To our left! Manual fire. Fire half. Fire half. I have to slow things right down because this is going to get really bloody really quick. New radar contacts. Hamilton, fire all. Hammersfoot, fire oil. Fire all. The 2 largest contacts in the force. Hit them with an extremely heavy salvo of missiles. Jolly good. Oh! Whatever that was, we just absolutely messed it up. New radar contact to the rear of the force. 63. Engage with missiles. Again, that identified ship, I want it to be engaged. 71. Fire all. It's only 30,000 yards distant. That large contact is still alive. Give me a yeah, fire half. And you. Fire half. Oh, incoming! I don't know quite what this force is, but it doesn't have as many missiles as I thought it did. I'm going to hold my missile stocks in reserve for now, and we'll see what comes of it. CV opens fire? Whatever that thing is, it's got nasty guns, but luckily so do we. Open up with the auto-loading 8-inch. whatever it is, we're now close enough to engage it with radar-directed gunnery. So whatever that is, I want it killed. Fire all missiles. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, also loading 8-inch guns. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, they don't. You don't like it when they mess you up that heavily, do you? We still have 2 targets that haven't been hit. That CV to the rear. Give that a salvo of missiles, would you, Masterick? Fire all missiles, please. That identified ship. Cecilia, you can give that a salvo, please. Missiles away. Very nice. These 3 cruisers have outright proved their worth, and the decision to mount triple auto-loading 8-inch guns is absolutely bearing fruit. This ability to close down and engage with 8-inch gunfire is really proving useful. Keep engaging. Keep engaging with those big 8-inch guns. It's still managing to make a getaway. Apparently that's a battleship, is it? Fire half, please. I said half! Well, that'll do. Bring it up to normal. Start really closing the range down using these auto-loading 8-inch guns to start bringing the pain. Whatever that thing is, it's still capable of firing. I don't like that. Give me a full salvo of all 6 missiles. Please. Missiles away. Thank you. Whatever you are, please stop trying to kill me. What ships in our force still carry torpedoes? Some surely must. I'm going to actually release some of our ships for a flotilla attack, see what damage we can do with torpedoes. That was a slightly archaic technology, but still. There you go. Aha! Yeah, you really do not want to be closing into our fleet like this. This is really not where you want to be. My cruisers have auto-loading 8-inch guns, and they will use them. Honestly, if you want to close down that much, that's fine. We can do this. 1 second. Fire 1 missile, please. Fire 1 missile, please. Fire 1 missile, please. Fire 1 missile, please. There we go. 8-inch guns are opening up. Though the gunnery under radar is leaving a lot to be desired. Unidentified ship. Directly ahead of us. Must be one of the destroyers we damaged. Either way, I'm fairly happy with the way things turned out. Some of our ships were damaged, yes, but not to the extent theirs were. Oh. Ah, well, one of our cruisers fought, but she did take a lot of missile hits. But she did her job. She screened the heavy missile cruisers, and they in turn did the job they were designed to do. Deliver an absolutely crippling salvo in the opening minutes of an engagement of missiles to just absolutely annihilate the enemy opposition. Oh. One of our destroyers foundered. How much damage did we do, I wonder? Oh. Okay, both the Russian heavy cruisers that came out to fight just got sunk. Yep. These... Oh, the Russians sent out some of their oldest heavy cruisers. And... Well, that's definitely an old ship. From 1943. No wonder she got annihilated. The Chersonis was one of their most modern assets, however, and she got annihilated. And one Russian destroyer was also sunk. While we did lose a light cruiser and a destroyer, the loss of 2 Russian heavy cruisers is a massive victory. Oh, they dominate the seas around Iraq? Since when? There must be Russian ships on their way back to Europe, I would suspect. I'd expect so. 10 months until our battlecruiser enters commission. Actually, I'm going to halt construction until I get war loans that will enable her to be built. Doing alright so far. Submarines are doing fairly well. Carrier battle. We actually have them outnumbered in full-size carriers in this engagement. So this is probably going to be the last engagement I fight this evening. But it ought to be an interesting one. Yep, the entire Dutch fleet is committed. Yep, this is the entire Dutch fleet. I have no idea how this fight's going to go. This is either going to go... Right. We're always going to be operating under the cover of enemy missiles. That's to be expected. But I want to draw our carriers. I want to link up our forces if we can. Try and link up our fleets. Because I know for a fact that my battlecruisers are not going to have the firepower in terms of guns to deal with the enemy's capital assets, since the Russians still operate full-size battleships and battlecruisers. Okay. Now, what do we know so far? Okay. Honestly, yep. Give me a two-phase and a night search and maximum cap over the fleet. Because I know full well that maximum cap can save your life. Can we not do night ops yet? Doesn't seem like it. So we'll run westward overnight. And then we'll turn around and re-engage in the morning. Good lord. Increase the maximum speed. The Russians know where we are in the east. They've been spotted by aircraft. Okay, we need to book it. Maximum speed. Go south. We mustn't be where we were. No aircraft hit. What is the point of having these SAMs if it don't hit anything? What was the point of having these SAMs if we couldn't hit anything for toffee? Genuinely, I ask you. Oh boy. Well, they aren't getting any missile hits. Never mind, spoke too soon. Oh. Okay, we've shot down some aircraft at least, that's something. Ugh. Why can't we fly at night? Why can they only fly at night? For some reason, Dutch aircraft can't fly at night. I don't understand it myself, but... It's the 60s. We should have night flying, but for some reason we don't. Okay. Right. Let me make one thing abundantly clear. I want to know exactly what's going on. I want a scout aircraft out, and I want to know exactly what's going on out there. Where was this report? Over here. It's from one of our naval air stations. But, again, that's not really much use to me. Up here in the north. Unless one of our scouts can get even further north and try and find their strike group. Let's get up. Let's get our scout aircraft airborne. Come on, let's go. Let's get our scout aircraft airborne. Let's get our scouts away. Let's find... yeah, drop the cap down to heavy. Let's try and free up some more aircraft for scouting duty if we can. Yes, catapult launch the search aircraft. Come on, find me those Russian carriers. Find me something. Find me anything. We have no sight of the Russian of the carriers, none at all. I have no sign of any Russian. Where is this? It doesn't say where it is. So we have enemy aircraft approaching our carriers. But it doesn't say where for. Are they large aircraft? Because if they're large aircraft, then they're land-based. They look like Jet Strike. They've come in from that direction. Do we have any aircraft going out in that direction? We have one. That's one of our float planes operating off one of our ships. Well, that strike package evaporated under the guns and missiles of our jet fighters. The problem I have is I can't find the Russians. Genuinely. We've not been able to find... Oh, hang on. Hang on. Never mind, he says. CVL. That one's fresh off the press. All right, then. Yes, please. Yeah, I'm throwing absolutely everything. At this. I'm throwing everything I have at this strike. Like, absolutely everything. Like, if this strike succeeds... this... Okay, yes, I will. Show me the reports we currently have. So our last reports put the carrier group moving southwards. Last report we got was at 12:09, which had them moving southwards in that direction. So I'm going to continue to have my strike set to reach there. Yes, and you will be set up to go there, so just in case they've gone that way. You will be set up to go as though they've gone here. This is either going to go very well or very poor. Oh, heavy SAM. One aircraft damaged. Oh, hello. New report. One battle cruiser, one armored cruiser. Coursed west by southwest. We were on the right track. And I have some dive bombers in reserve. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's the enemy fleet. Our aircraft just overflew the enemy carrier fleet. We've actually found them. We have actually completely found them. Wow, there's a lot. There's 2 Russian carrier fleets, and they're right there. We found them. No, Raptorat, nothing's really happened. We found both of the Soviet carrier fleets. Okay, then. Which means our aircraft are going to double back now. Yes, I do, actually. Yeah, hit them there. So, you overflew the enemy fleet, and then you didn't do anything. Are you being serious? I genuinely cannot. You literally overflew the enemy fleet and you did nothing. I actually cannot. I'm actually screaming. Our carrier aircraft overflew their fleet and did nothing. Alright. We know where they are. Will you please go get them? So where does the report say they were going? What did the last report we have say? They were headed north-ish, so yeah, let's have it over here, roughly. We had a full strike package going in. And you did nothing. You overflew the force and you didn't think, oh, you know, those look like the Russian carriers. Better report that back and keep flying on to find the Russian carriers. I just cannot. Guys, you literally... I cannot. My disappointment is immeasurable. I actually cannot. You literally know where the Russian carriers are. Go and get them. Well, we can't do it now. Night's fallen. You literally overflew the Russian carriers on your way to go and find the Russian carriers. And you didn't think, let's attack the Russian carriers. Just... honestly. That could have been the victory of the war. That could have been a knockout blow, apart from the Dutch fighter aircraft pilots that didn't attack when they should have done. That's honestly super frustrating. Yeah, you found the Russian carriers and you didn't hit them once! And on that, it's time for us to end for the evening. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I hope you've had a fantastic evening. I know I have seen the Dutch Navy into the 60s. We're at war with Russia, a war that we should be able to win, provided our aircraft pilots actually do their job. But I look forward to seeing you all next week for more Rule the Waves. Tune in tomorrow for what I've decided will be not Star Wars, since obviously it's not working anymore, but for a Sea Power stream. So tune in tomorrow for a stream of Sea Power. Take care, everybody, and I'll catch you all